Hey everybody, it's Matt and Emma.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? We hope everybody's doing really well out there. We wanted to come live to you today. Emma had some amazing ideas at a previous park visit that we had. And so one of her thoughts that she came up with was if we were to build our own theme park using just Universal and Disney attractions, hotels, restaurants that exist right now, what would that ideal park look like?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, thinking of our own theme parks and messing around with our list. And so we have 12 attractions each, and then we have a store, a show, a restaurant, and a resort. And these, to be more specific, are Universal and Disney theme parks only located in the United States. So we could not use things from Disneyland Paris, Disneyland Tokyo, Tokyo Disney Sea, nothing like that. Just Disneyland, Disney World, and then the Universal theme parks in the United States.
There we go. So we had very different lists, I think, when we went through this.
Yeah. But I changed mine a lot.
Absolutely. And we want to hear from you guys too, what you think as we go along here. We do have the live chat up, so definitely feel free to give your thoughts and your feedback on this as well. And we'll communicate with you guys. But Emma, so we have some rules on this, right?
We do.
So the rules are you can have a dozen attractions. And what we mean by attractions is it has to be something where you are physically moving.
Yes.
So for example, Carousel of Progress, that came up as part of our conversation, right?
It does not count as a show. It counts as an attraction.
Correct, because you physically move in that attraction, right? A show would be you were sitting down stationary in a theater maybe somewhere, or, alongside a road, something like that, and there was, a small little cavalcade or something that happened.
Like the character cavalcades or the shows could count. Speaking of parades and fireworks, we had a specific rule that we could not have anything from the past, but so this is our cat. Just a cute little intermission here.
Whose name is?
Lupin.
Gotcha, for you Harry Potter fans out there.
And so then it has to be a show or a parade or an attraction that is confirmed that it is coming back after COVID. But if it's like the Main Street Electrical Parade, sadly would not qualify for this list because that was not coming back after the pandemic. But any shows or anything that have been confirmed that's coming back after they're allowed to have parades and stuff, then those you can have on your list.
Absolutely. And so the other things that we had to have aside from the attractions, we do have to have a show, as mentioned, right? We're going to have a hotel there because you got to have somewhere to stay, and then you're going to have a restaurant as well. Now, what we decided was if there's a restaurant that's normally paired with an attraction, it doesn't count. Just because those two things can be very separate. They might be in the same land, whatever the case might be, right? But if it's a restaurant that exists within a resort hotel, you get the whole resort.
Yeah.
So you get the rooms, you get the restaurants, you get the pool, you get everything else, right?
We also had to have a store that we wanted. And
True.
These also can be from City Walk and Disney Springs, so that they don't have to be specifically in one of the theme parks. They could be in Disney Springs or in City Walk, which are the main dining and shopping districts for those theme parks.
Absolutely. You got to have a way to make some money, right? Bob Chapek would never build a park without a good way to make money, right? Gift shop at the end of every ride.
Yep.
Absolutely. So without further ado, here are in our opinion, right, ideal theme parks if we were to build Emma World and Matt World. So Emma, we'll just take turns?
Sure.
All right. So let's go over, how about attractions first?
Okay. So my first attraction is the Disneyland version of the Haunted Mansion because I love the Haunted Mansion. It's my number one Disney attraction, probably my number one attraction of all time. I just love it. It's kind of nostalgic for me because I do kind of remember going and riding the Haunted Mansion. And my mom and my dad always talk about how I was not scared of any of it. I mean, it's not supposed to be scary, but for little kids it could be. And I was just this is awesome. And so I love the Haunted Mansion. It's one of my all-time favorites. So the Disneyland version of the Haunted Mansion.
Okay, why Disneyland and not Disney World?
We'll get to that.
Oh.
Because I might also have the Disney World version.
Oh, goodness. Would you like to reveal your number 2 then?
My number 2 is the Haunted Mansion in Disney World.
All right. And why both, Emma? Why is it necessary to have both at Emma Land theme park?
Because if you're going to spend money on the Loungefly, the headband, the dress, the pins, you have to have both.
Or your parents are going to spend money on those things.
Because they're amazing.
Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Well, very cool. Well, I also, as part of my park, have the Disneyland version of the Haunted Mansion.
Do you have both?
I do not have both.
Oh.
We don't need both at my ideal park. I wanted to have a little bit more variety there. So the reason that I chose the Disneyland version, and guys, it's close, right?
Yeah.
Disney World's is actually bigger, but I chose the Disneyland version for a couple reasons. Number 1 is the original, right?
Yeah.
So that's always going to give it just that little bit of an edge. And number 2, Hatbox Ghost.
Yes, I was about to say that. Like Hatbox Ghost. They have, in Memento Mori's, they have these really awesome keychains where it's a Hatbox Ghost, and then they have like a little dangle off of it that's the Hatbox with the head in it, and it's really, really awesome.
So maybe they're teasing us because we're here in Orlando.
Yeah.
So maybe they're teasing us that it's coming here.
That would be great.
There you go. Breaking news on Big Ears and Butter Ears today. There you go. All right. So since you've already given your second one, do you want me to catch up? Should we play catch up? All right. So we went official with this. We actually made lists so we wouldn't forget about things.
Which, if you like the cell phone, go check out the how to get inexpensive or how to save money on Disney merchandise, because we went to a Disney outlet store that's officially owned by Disney in the outlet mall. So go check that out.
What she's trying to say is we made a vlog about the Disney Character Warehouse here in Orlando. It's on our YouTube channel, Mickey Ears and Butterbeers.
Yes.
And so we would love it if you guys would subscribe to that channel and go and watch that vlog where you can find out how to get this really cool cell phone case.
For a shocking price.
How about $2.12, was it?
Yeah.
After tax. Super cool. All right, so moving right along. I'll catch up to you here. Mine is also going to be, my second choice also going to be from California. Okay. It's going to be Radiator Springs Racers from California Adventure Park, which for those of you guys that don't know, it's the park right across the main entrance plaza from Disneyland. And it used to not be a great park, but within the last 10 years or so, they've redone the park and it is phenomenal now. They've got some really great attractions there. They're opening up a Marvel Land now, but Radiator Springs Racers is basically a very similar ride to Test Track that they have here at Epcot in Orlando, right? But it's themed entirely different, and you've got dueling tracks. So the cars that you're in, they're themed after the movie Cars, and so the cars that you're in are going side by side at one point in time, and you're racing through the mountains of Radiator Springs. The special effects and the animatronics are all really cool. So just a really cool ride, almost like a hybrid between
like a dark ride and Test Track.
I would say it's like if you've been on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it would be like that same style of animatronic and Test Track. They got together and merged. Then that's a little bit of what Radiator Springs Racers would be. Plus, just the land itself is beautiful and so over the top and well done.
And like Dad said, Disney California Adventure wasn't a great theme park, and Cars Land, which is the themed land that Radiator Springs Racers is in, and it's themed to the Cars series, and it's really, really fun. It was one of the things that like made California Adventure like better and like worth visiting, because it was just incredible and it had this amazing theming. I only remember it a little bit though, because I have only been to Disneyland once, but it was super cool from what I do remember and like what I've seen clips of. And it was one of the things that really like saved California Adventure. And then now they're adding all these new lands. Like Dad said, they're adding the Marvel Avengers Campus.
Yep.
And
opening in June.
Yay!
Yay! Very cool. All right. So without further ado, let's move on. Emma, what is your number 3 attraction?
All right. Just because of nostalgia, I'm going to have to say Peter Pan's Flight.
Peter Pan's Flight. Nice.
Because them sprinkling pixie dust on your lap bar will never get old.
That is so true.
Oh my gosh. And I remember
Now, which Peter Pan's flight?
Disney World.
Disney World. I would have to kind of agree with you on that. Why do you think Disney World?
Mainly because I don't really remember Disneyland very much.
Okay.
And this was what I remember, just having the nostalgia.
Sure.
And before we moved down here, it had been a little while before we had visited the Disney parks, although we had visited really often. And I remember just being on there and then just taking off of the track, because they have like a little track that just stops and they lift up into the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just because of nostalgia, I needed to have this on my list. So Disney World, Peter Pan flight.
So I think a lot of people would say that the in-ride part on Peter Pan's flight in Disneyland is actually more detailed. It tells the story better. However, yes, about 5 years ago at Disney World, they redid the queue for Peter Pan's flight, which to Emma's point gets to be quite long sometimes. And it's really super cool. You walk through the Darling's bedroom and
through the nursery,
and through
the outdoor section, and you see all of these characters and all of these pictures, and it's just really cool.
There's lots of magic touches in that area. So.
Yes. Like you'll see Tinkerbell will fly around the nursery, and then there's these shadow bells where it's like shadows on a wall, and you can actually like hit the bells even though like they're just shadows, right? Mm-hmm. But then they'll actually like make noises and they'll ring, and it's really, really fun.
So it's interactive.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I am also going to choose another attraction that is considered a Disney classic, right?
Yeah.
So that is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, our Pirates here in Orlando, we're glad we have it, right? It's better than no Pirates at all, but it is not the same as the one at Disneyland. The one at Disneyland, that's an attraction that Walt touched, much like Peter Pan's flight, which Peter Pan's flight was actually an opening day attraction, but this one feels like it was. And just a beautifully well done attraction, lots of detail, a little bit longer than ours.
Yeah.
Has just some really nice touches that ours does not have. So we got the abbreviated version here in Orlando for sure. All right, what's your number 4?
Okay, some of you are not going to agree with this because I'm going to say my first Universal attraction.
Yes, it's Universal in there.
I know some people get very motion sick by this ride, but this is one of my favorite rides at Universal. I'm going to have to say Forbidden Journey.
Very nice, okay.
Because I love Forbidden Journey. The technology is just so different. And I love just the feeling, because it really does feel like you're flying. And I love the combination of what Universal is really good at in incorporating their parks, screens and physical sets. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have ever ridden it, you're going to know what I'm talking about here. Those Dementors, so they have this one scene, and it's not like a screen. Like, it's physical, like animatronics and sets. But there's these Dementors, and you're going by, and it's really dark and eerie. And then they literally follow you, and they get so close to your face. Like, they literally will start over here, and then they'll just get so close to you and like follow your flying bench. It's so cool.
Very true. And you know what? That ride has really grown on me, because I will say for a while I had ridden it once and I kind of refused to ride it again, right? Because I did get motion sick on it. And I don't know if once you go to Universal enough, your body just kind of gets used to motion simulators or what it is, but I handle it better now than I did a year ago.
Like, he'll ride it with me whenever I want.
Yep.
It's awesome.
And I have to say, it actually did make my top 12.
It did?
I think it is now my favorite ride at Universal.
Really?
I used to really, particularly in the Wizarding World, I used to really like Escape from Gringotts.
Is it better than Escape from Gringotts?
I think it's better than the Escape from Gringotts.
You make me so happy.
And that's going to be a controversial opinion for sure, right? So Escape from Gringotts is more of a roller coaster style attraction at the very beginning, and then it goes into a dark ride setting where you're in a car that that does some omni mover type maneuvers in a fast way, I guess you would say. But it's very, very heavy on the 3D and the screen effects. And the more that I've ridden that ride, the more that I've realized that it's not as immersive as what Forbidden Journey is.
Forbidden Journey. And another thing that for some reason I just like taking off on what you think is a track.
Sure.
For some reason that appeals to me. I'm just not realizing that, because like Peter Pan, but in a different way, you're facing this way, and you pull down on your head restraints, and they have a little conveyor belt that you kind of walk on and get into your car, and then that just disappears, and you just start flying, and it is so cool, so immersive, and it really, really does feel like you're flying around Hogwarts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The way that it works, your bench that Emma was talking about,
on an arm.
it's on the end of an arm. It's crazy.
And then you go too.
And it moves you around, and that's what makes it so. That's what makes people so prone to motion sickness.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can literally move you any direction that it wants at any point in time. And it's in sync with the video that you're watching, which is, in our case, not a 3D video. As a matter of fact, it's not 3D at any of the Universal parks worldwide anymore.
Because people
people got too motion sick.
Like,
so
they are really.
There's a 4K video that you're watching on these larger than life IMAX type screens in front of you.
And another thing that I really love about this attraction is, in one point, and this is all physical sets, what I'm about to talk about, is you're inside of Hogwarts and you see this dragon. Like, you don't see the dragon, you see like its wing through like this window, and it's like tearing up everything, and there's a big hole in the floor, and you just go down the hole, like you go through the hole, but you're still kind of going straight while it's like moving you around, and you just see this giant dragon, and it just blows fire at you.
It does. It's pretty cool.
And I could talk about this ride forever, but I'm not going to, because then we wouldn't get to talk about any of the other amazing attractions on this list, including my favorite Universal one, which is actually not Forbidden Journey.
There you go. All right, so I will get to my number. I already mentioned that I have Forbidden Journey on my list also. So Emma, why don't you go ahead and give us your number 5?
My number 5 is pretty much the only non-simulator thrill ride you're going to find at my theme park. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Disney World.
That's an excellent, excellent choice.
I'm not a huge thrill ride person. I mean, I'm a big coaster, I'm not a big coaster person. I'm a big simulator person. Like, put me on literally the most intense simulator you can find, and I will have a great time. But coasters, no thanks. I don't like big, like, drops, like drops are the main thing, though. Like, I won't even ride Splash Mountain. I know that's a big, bold statement, but I won't really ride Splash Mountain. I just don't like those drops. But Big Thunder, for some reason, is just so fun. It's less about the thrill, and it's more about, like, a tame amount of thrill, what to most people would be a tame amount of thrill. To me, it's really thrilling. But with just, it's so fun, and like it's really rickety, and you like bounce around, and I don't know. I just love Big Thunder, and like it's so fun.
Is it because every time we go around a corner, I body slam you?
Yes.
There you go. If you haven't been on Big Thunder, the lap bars are a little loose, and it will kind of sling you to the side, and so there is some body slamming that goes on side to side.
This is our reenactment of Big Thunder Mountain. Oops. Okay.
All right.
Let's not break that.
There we go. We won't break that.
That's important to me.
It is. It is. Absolutely. I'm not even sure what that is up there, but anyway. All right. So that was your number 5. So believe it or not, Big Thunder Mountain, which is in fact one of my favorite rides, it actually did not make my list. I know that might have been an oversight. Now that I'm kind of going through here, I'm like, what would I have taken off of here? I tried to get some balance here, but it did not make my list. So you mentioned one that did make my list, though, and that is going to be Splash Mountain. And I prefer the one here at the Magic Kingdom for a couple different reasons. Number one, it has double-sided logs, so you're side by side as opposed to just in one log. So the capacity is a lot greater because of that, and because the capacity is much greater, it tends to go a little slower. The log goes slower through the ride, so you can absorb more of the story. The animatronics and everything are just so cool on Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
It is a log flume ride. There's several little drops, and then there's the big one that everybody knows about at the end. But it gets my win for being a combination of log flume ride. So you got the water aspect of it. You get a little bit wet, right? Not soaked, but a little bit wet. If
you want to get wet, sit on the front row, right side.
That is true. That is true. And then the animatronics are great. The story is a story that obviously has been controversial, right, with the Song of the South movie. But it's a story that is lesser known in the Disney Library, which I think kind of makes it unique as well. Obviously, it's going to get a retheme to Princess and the Frog, which we're kind of sad about. We understand the reasons, but we're kind of sad about. That being said, I think Princess and the Frog is a tremendous movie that doesn't get enough love, and I am excited to see what they do with it because I think it could be really cool, even though it'll be different.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So Splash Mountain, Walt Disney World, great for animatronics, thrills, water, songs. Oh my gosh.
Everything.
You name it. Just an unbelievable attraction. My favorite attraction at any park anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, number 6.
All right, number 6. It's my favorite ride at Universal Studios. Popeye and Bluto's Build-A-Wrap barges. I know some people don't like getting wet. Then this is not for you. But I would ride this ride. My parents, my dad especially, always is like, it's too cold to ride Popeye and Bluto's today. I'm sorry, we're just not going to do it. And so then I reply with, I would ride Popeye and Bluto's in negative 25-degree weather, which luckily never happens here in Orlando.
Well, we did ride it at about 80-degree weather with pretty decent wind one day.
Yes.
It was cold.
It was
really cold, but that ride will get you soaked.
Oh my gosh, and I love it. Like my dad would talk about Popeye the Sailor Man sometimes and make jokes and stuff.
Spinach.
This made me care.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love this ride so much, and I just love the story, and I love, it may not be like the most high-tech animatronics in the world, like you may not have like a big giant dragon animatronic, but it is so fun. And there's I say I don't like drops, but it's not even drops, it's like hills, and you just roll over the water. Now there is one that kind of gets me a little bit, and Dad's gonna laugh at this, and it's not even that big, but you go up this lift hill with and you're in a car wash, and so there's all this water splashing at you, and then you go down a little bit, and then you drop a little bit, but that's really just to get you going down the river, and I don't know. I just love that ride so much. And now that I'm thinking about it, Forbidden Journey and that ride are very close. I mean, most people would say No Brainer Forbidden Journey is better. I don't know. Popeye and Bluto just has a place in my heart for some reason. It's so fun.
It is a fun ride. It really is.
Did it make your list?
It did not make my list, but it is ranked, if you read rankings, as one of the best water theme park rides in the world.
But you know what number 1 is?
You're not exaggerating on this.
But you know what number 1 is?
Splash Mountain. Yes. My favorite ride. Anyway, no. So yeah, it's a great ride,
It really
particularly
is.
right in the middle of the summer. Go on it. If you don't want to get wet, take a poncho with you.
Yeah. Or don't ride it, because you still might get wet through your poncho.
You are going to get absolutely soaked. I mean, I think the people that designed the ride, they designed it wanting to make sure that you thoroughly were cooled off by the end of it. And so
it's like taking a shower.
It is. It's like taking one of the rainfall showers.
Yes.
It just drenches you. All right. So let's see. I'm at my number 6, right?
Yes, I'm at number 6.
All right. So number 6 for me is going to be, and people are like, why did it take you this long to get to this point? It's going to be Rise of the Resistance. And pick a coast. Doesn't really matter. Galaxy's Edge is, for the most part, I know it's not exact, but for the most part, identical on each coast at Disneyland and Hollywood Studios here at Walt Disney World. Emma has not been on it yet. She is going to hopefully, knock on wood, get to ride on it for her birthday this year. Incredible ride. I think most people would say it's probably the most advanced theme park ride in the world. It has so many different scenes and so many different phases, that you go through. It's like having 3 or 4 different attractions all in one. Just incredible.
So that can count as your show, your attraction.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but that thing is just unbelievable. Yep.
I'm probably more of a Star Wars fan.
That does not count as my show though, because you're moving. So yeah.
Well, in some of it you're not.
There you go. That's right. But
it's one ride. So.
It's one ride.
My number 7 is awesome. It's in Universal Studios, and it is Men in Black: Alien Attack. You knew this was on my list.
I knew it was gonna be on your list.
You knew this was on my list.
Yep.
So imagine Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin,
Mm-hmm.
except Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, 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 spin. So basically, you are training to become a Men in Black agent, pretty much, or whatever.
A person in black.
A person in
We'll
black.
update this to the 2021 PC standards.
Yes. And so you're in this training facility, and you have these guns, and you have to shoot. It's obviously very cartoony. You're definitely in a training facility. There's these little flaps with these aliens that you have to shoot. They have the targets, but then real aliens crash into Manhattan, and then you get released from your training center, and you're like, and they're like, well, we have to use these people that aren't officially trained yet. So then you shoot, and all these aliens make you spin, and then, spoiler alert, then there's alien imposters because it's a double track on the other
track?
On the other ride
the
vehicle.
double track?
Yes.
There you go.
And you have to shoot at this little target on it, and then when you shoot it, or when the other person shoots you, you spin. I don't know. I just love this. Okay, I love spinning. My theme park is going to make a lot of people very motion sick. I'm sorry.
Truth.
Because I have something even more motion sick later, I think, that I don't think that I got rid of it. But, I don't know. I love Men in Black.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's definitely, I think, just about anybody that would ride it would think that it's better than Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin,
unless
or
they're
Astro Blasters, or one of those. Unless they're motion sick. Yeah, it does. That's the one kind of small aspect of it that I wish that maybe they would tone down just a little bit. I know you like it, but I just feel like that's a ride, particularly at Universal, which is a park that could benefit maybe from a few more family attractions, particularly over on the studios side. If they toned it down a little bit, just about everybody could ride it.
Yeah.
And it would be a little bit more welcoming. But it's a great ride. It's definitely the best shooter type ride.
We have a lot of fun on it because our family in general is very competitive, and my dad is so good at those. He is
Galactic Hero and
Galaxy Defender. Hey, I'm a Galaxy Defender.
You are a Galaxy Defender also.
But most of it was you.
There you go.
And so we just have so much fun on that ride, and all shooting rides, but it's definitely better in our opinion than Space Ranger Spin.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, number 7 for me. This is going to be controversial.
Oh, is it going to be controversial?
It's going to be controversial, considering that it made the list and a few others did not. I'm going to go Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I thought you were going to say something
at
else.
Disney's Hollywood Studios here in Orlando.
That did make my list, but I highly considered it.
So the fact that is on the list and the Big Thunder is not is definitely something I'm going to have to think about why I did that. But
because you weren't thinking.
Okay. All right. It all started with a mouse, Emma. And this is the very first ride attraction. Very first ride attraction starring Mickey Mouse. And which was totally overdue, right? And half the population was going to rip this ride no matter what, because it used to be the great movie ride, which most people loved, had a lot of nostalgia, right? I know very few people that having rode this ride at this point in time and letting it just absorb and settle in and maybe ride it a few more times, don't absolutely love this ride.
So I love the Great Movie Ride, or I loved the Great Movie Ride. Sad to say. But, and I almost did not want to ride Mickey Minnie's because I was like, why? I get it's Mickey Mouse, but it's not that great. Like, it's not going to be as good as everyone says it is. And then I rode it, and I was like, hey, Daddy, can we only ride that for the rest of the day? We don't have a boarding group because we were unfortunate, but can we just ride this for the rest of the day?
And we didn't, but it is a great ride for sure. Really, really great ride for sure.
And I want to say this again, but if you guys have your own opinions on like, why is this on the list or why isn't this on the list? We have a live chat up so that you guys can put your opinions in the chat and so we can hear you. And also, if you have any questions for us or anything like that, definitely let us know. We would love to interact with you guys. We love to make our YouTube experience as personal as possible, and these live streams help us do that.
And if you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching the recorded version, comment below. We are trying to make it to 100 subscribers so that we can get you guys a vanity URL so that you can more easily find our channel. So we can be youtube.com/Mickey Ears and Butterbeers instead of youtube.com/ some very long sequence of numbers and letters, right? So that would mean a lot to us. We would really appreciate that.
And also to help kind of encourage you guys to get there, if you guys have any ideas of like any way we could like kind of celebrate 100 subscribers, we would love to hear that from you.
It's a great point, and we're definitely looking for suggestions for future videos, future live streams. We want to make this something that is a community and something that you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So number 7 is taken care of. How about number 8, Emma?
For me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn.
Go ahead.
All right, for mine, I don't want to say regret putting it on here, but I could have replaced it with something. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say Escape from Gringotts. I love this ride. I just said I don't like drops, so there is one part that kind of scares me, and mainly because like you're on like this platform and it like turns you, and you like are suspended here for like 5 seconds, maybe more, and then you just go 30 feet, and then you go through this coaster sequence.
Emma doesn't like drops.
No, I already said that.
Yeah, I was just reminding.
Okay.
All right.
But the rest of this ride, I really, really enjoy. There's this one part that I especially like for some reason. Actually, there's 2 parts. I'm going to talk about 2 parts of this ride that I love. First part that I don't love, the drop. But second part that I love is through parts of it, you're like, there's a motion simulator element to it. It is 3D, so you do wear 3D goggles. They're called goblin glasses. They're fun. And at one point, there's these big like metal chess pieces, and then they tear the track, and so like you face down. You don't actually drop, but you like simulate a drop, and then you get saved by Bill Weasley. Yay! And then my other favorite part is they'll also throw you to the side, and then they'll like throw you to the next scene. And through that part, you'll actually look up and you can see the track that like Ron, Harry, and Hermione would have been going on their Gringotts card. And you actually kind of like, you don't like spin, like, but how do I describe that? Like you spin kind of slow.
You spin.
Okay, like you spin.
She likes to spin. She doesn't like drops, but she likes to spin.
Yes. I like motion simulators and spinnings.
She does. All right. Yeah, I agree. That's a great attraction. Yeah. And of course, Gringotts Bank is the safest place in the world. So, all right. Let's see what I had for number 8. Okay. So I'm going to go back to Disney's California Adventure. Okay. And I'm going to go with the original Soarin' over California. Yeah. Great attraction. Every time I go on that attraction, I remember just how good it is. The things I love about it so much, the synchronization with the movie is incredible, but there's a number of different rides that do that now. It's just so smooth. The videography is so good. The way that they tie it all together. But I think my favorite thing is the smells. Yeah. Being able to smell the oranges, being able to smell the ocean, just really incredible. It was the first kind of 4D type ride that I remember going on. And I think it's one that just about anybody can enjoy. So, I think you've got to have some of those in your theme park. That's important. So my theme park is going to have the original Soarin' over California.
Cool. Go ahead and do one more, because my next one is one you already mentioned.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So my next one is also going to be from California. It's going to be from Disneyland. And this is hard to do this over Big Thunder Mountain, but I'm going to.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
It's going to be the Matterhorn. Oh. And that's because that is the only place you can ride the Matterhorn. Not an opening day attraction, but I believe a 1959 edition at Disneyland.
I think that's right.
Not far afterwards. Definitely one that Walt Disney touched himself. And just a classic steel roller coaster. It actually, the Space Mountain that we have here in Florida was modeled after the track for that roller coaster there. It's also the first iteration of like the abominable snow monster or the Yeti like chasing you, kind of like it used to do here at Animal Kingdom before it broke. And so anyway, again, I think classic attractions are they mean a lot to me. They're nostalgic for me. I think they're nostalgic for a lot of people. And that's just a unique ride. It whips you around quite a bit. It throws you around. Everybody feels a little jostled when they get off of it. But hey, you were supposed to have been riding on a bobsled through a mountain, so it's probably kind of what it's like.
So the reason I had Dad go twice is because my number 9 is one he already mentioned, but that is Radiator Springs Racers.
There you go.
Don't remember much of it. I do remember that I hated it when I rode it, but I was also very small. True. Now I love Test Track. Now I love the Cars franchise. Now I would love that because I love animatronics. I love everything. So Dad already told you about that, though. You don't want to hear about that again. So, probably the most controversial thing on my list, by far, Mission Space. Okay?
That is controversial.
I told you that I liked motion simulators, but
are we talking green or orange?
This is going to be more controversial, but I'm going to say orange.
Okay, so explain that to people that may not know the difference.
So Mission Space, Mission Space is a really intense motion simulator, and there's a green side, which is the Earth mission. So you go around the Earth, and then you go back to Florida, and surprise, surprise, there's a hurricane that you have to land in. Because it's Florida.
Yeah.
It's very realistic. And you're in this really tight compartment. Don't ride it if you get motion sick. Don't ride it if you're claustrophobic. Basically, don't ride it unless you're me and absolutely insane. And yeah, so that one's way less intense than Orange. Now, Orange, real astronauts were involved in the process of making this because originally there wasn't a green and people were complaining that it was too intense. I'm like, that's the point. And astronauts have said it's the closest feeling you can really get to actually going to space. But what makes this so different isn't that it's like more intense, it moves you around more. No, it spins so fast so that you can feel G-forces.
And you feel weightless as well.
And you feel weightless, and it's really fun.
G-forces, you can feel your face.
No. Like, there was one part where I was, like, holding onto my headrest, and, like, I was supposed to press a button because it's interactive, which I don't really understand. And there were G-forces, and I could, like, I was trying to move my hand, but there were, like, G-forces, and I was like, I can't move my hand to the button. Because you have, like, different positions when your little tiny little cockpit thing. And so then you have to like press different buttons, and if you have to do an emergency landing, there's a joystick, and so you can do that. And the really fun part is at one point they're like, everybody turn to the, where you have to use the joystick, and it's like, everybody turn to the right, everybody turn to the left. Don't stop knocking into that.
Anyway, it is. It's a lot of fun. It's a pretty cool attraction.
But don't ride it unless you're insane.
Yeah, Orange Side for sure not. Definitely, if you are somebody that is not good in small spaces, don't ride either side because you're right up by the screen in a enclosed ball essentially to make this effect happen. So.
I like after I got off it, I was like, hey. I know we were going to go ride whatever. I think it was like Test Track or something.
Yep.
And I was like, I need a minute. Let's go to Mouse Gears, which unfortunately isn't going to be here for very longer. But I was like, let's go to Mouse Gears so I can just have a minute after that.
Yeah.
Because like you can walk straight, you feel dizzy.
It does take a little while to get your bearings about you.
But it was fun.
Yeah. Don't eat right before riding that ride.
Don't eat like at all before riding that ride.
Okay, number 10. I believe we're on number 10.
Yeah.
Yep, number 10. Okay.
So that was just my number 10.
There you go. So number 10. Oh, that was your number 10. What did I miss earlier? Oh, yeah. All right. It's back. It's the People Mover at Magic Kingdom.
I had that on my list. That was my next one.
So it is a classic attraction. I think most people love the People Mover, but can't necessarily put into words why it's so great.
Yeah.
It's if you don't know the People Mover, it's just a moving car that goes around a track essentially at a pace that's it speeds up occasionally and then slows down occasionally to kind of show you some show scenes. But it goes around Tomorrowland at the Magic Kingdom,
and it like goes through some rides.
Yep.
And there's these weird like almost like shadow box things sometimes.
Yeah.
And
well, you can see the original model for Epcot, which is pretty cool there as well. But
I don't understand why people love it. I mean, I do, but like I can't put that into words why I love the People Mover. You
can look into stores. You can see inside Space Mountain, like Emma said. So a lot of really cool things on the People Mover. And I think more than anything, people know that that's a place that they can go. The whole track's in the shade. You're moving a little bit, so it's a good place to go during the middle of your Disney day. Where you feel, or your Magic Kingdom day, where you feel like, hey, I just need some downtime, need to get away from people. Maybe you take a food or a beverage item with you on that. You just cruise around Tomorrowland on the People Mover. But most people that come to Magic Kingdom, or they used to have one at Disneyland, unfortunately, they don't have one there anymore. Most people will say that that's probably one of their favorite things they did when they were there. So as we're looking at the theme park, it's not necessarily going to be all of our favorite attractions, right? It's got to have some balance to it. And so,
mine kind of does not, but.
All right. So you said that's your next one as well?
So finish your list and then I'll give my last one.
Well, no, we have two more.
I only have one more. Because the People Mover.
Oh, yeah. Well, somehow we got off of there. So I'll go to my next one. So my next one is going to be in the entrance of balance, right? Is going to be from Universal, okay? And this is an attraction that until recently I didn't particularly love because of the whole motion simulator thing.
I know what you're gonna say.
But now that I've gotten better at motion simulators since I've been on them, it's gonna be Spidey No Righty. What used to be Spidey No Righty now is Spidey Yes Righty, and that's going to be the Adventures of Spider-Man. And when this ride opened up at Universal's Islands of Adventure here in Orlando in 1999, it was pretty much regarded as the best theme park ride in the world, similar to what Rise of the Resistance is, both for its use of physical set pieces as well as projection technology, the vehicles being high tech. And they've updated it a little bit since then, and it's still great. It's really a well done ride. It's got a little bit more of a storyline to it, I think, than what Transformers does, which is over at Universal Studios, which is the other park at Universal Orlando. And so I'm going to give it the nod between those two. And they've updated the video so that the video is now 4K 3D instead of just 3D, in standard depth. And so it's a lot more immersive now. But it's super, super cool the way that they intertwine the physical pieces and that motion simulator technology, similar to Harry Potter and Forbidden Journey.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So what is your number 12 attraction?
My last attraction. I had to.
Okay.
I had to because I was angry that it's not here.
Yes.
Disneyland's, because it's only at Disneyland now.
Okay.
Disneyland's
Mr. Toad. Yep.
I don't know why I want to run into things and be a bad driver and then have an experience. And
then end up going to hell.
Yeah. But
that's why it's not here anymore.
Yeah. Don't know why I like those things, but Mr. Toad makes me like those things.
Well, and again, it's an attraction that Walt Disney touched and approved, and
and now I'm questioning what my brain considers good.
Right. Well, I mean, and it became Winnie the Pooh here, which between those two, I'd much rather have Mr. Toad than Winnie the Pooh. But
okay, he hates Winnie the Pooh. I don't mind it.
I don't hate Winnie the Pooh. I just don't like the attraction.
Well, that. I love Winnie the Pooh, the character and the attraction. I mean, I don't love the attraction, but it's good. I'd rather have Mr. Toad.
There you go. Fair.
I like that there's nods to Mr. Toad.
There you go. Yeah.
Look out for those.
All right. So the last and final attraction.
I think I know what you're saying.
My number 12. Going with nostalgia again. And this was probably, I don't know, for me, I think this is the Walt Disney attraction.
Yeah.
It is the
if you're saying what I think you're saying.
It's going to be, and it has to be Disneyland's It's a Small World.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world.
Stop it. All right. Anyway, so those that probably know, if you know, you know, the 1964 World's Fair, Walt Disney built the It's a Small World attraction for, I believe it was the Ford Pavilion, potentially? GE Pavilion, I believe.
GE and UNICEF.
And UNICEF Pavilion, yes, for the 1964.
The Ford was Ford's Magical Skyway.
That is true. Very good. Anyway, so proud right now.
Which inspired the People Mover.
There you go. But it is just a beautifully well done ride. Yeah. You've got Mary Blair, who's a beautiful artist, did a great job of designing the look and the way that the colors blend together, and kind of that polygonal look to the structures. Just super, super cool. Beautifully done attraction. The one here, again, it's a little bit like Pirates in that we got the abbreviated version of it. Yeah. But the exterior of the one at Disneyland is super, super cool as well. And then they've integrated in over time various characters. They put some overlays on it during the holidays. So just a really, really cool attraction. And I don't think, I think it has to be considered one of the best theme park rides ever. Certainly not the most thrilling, but one of the best and most well-known. Bless you.
Thank you.
Here we go. All right. So that's our attraction. So now let's get down to
where are they going to shop?
Where are they going to shop? Good point. Where are they going to shop?
Because I have 2 Haunted Mansion rides, it's only fitting that I have Memento Moris where they can buy the Hatbox Ghost keychain that I was talking about earlier, and Madame Leota everything.
True. No, I think that's fair.
Memento
That's a small gift shop though. There's not a whole lot there if you're not a Haunted Mansion fan.
I would buy the
But
entire store.
you know where you can buy most items?
I knew you were.
It's going to be the Main Street Emporium.
Mm-hmm.
The huge shop at both Disney World and Disneyland that has a collection from just about everything within Magic Kingdom, and even a few just general Walt Disney World pieces as well in there. And so it is my personal favorite gift shop. I also love the fact that that you can get some special items there that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
They have jewelry there. They have a hattery there where you can get a number of Mickey ears or other various hats. They have different styles and different line clothing there that you can't get anywhere else. So it's just super cool. There's a shop called World of Disney in Disney Springs also that's also very, very cool and probably has more merchandise, but there's some nostalgia, I think, that goes along with hitting up that shop on your way out with Main Street lit up at night. That is just cool. And the old school vibe inside that shop, that's that vibe that I associate with Disneyland.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's a very, very cool place. So that's my shop.
I just realized that my Emma's theme park could basically have an entire land called Ghost Town Land.
Ghost Town Land, I like it.
Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder, and Memento Mori.
It's true. That's very true.
And also,
if you don't know my daughter, and Pixar. If you don't know my daughter, then that would surprise you maybe. But if you do know her, you'd know that she's got some interesting thoughts on things.
I will be right back.
And apparently, I'm going solo for a second. Oh, here we go. I know what she's doing. So she's our family ghost host. She uses that to carry our camera around with us when we're in the parks.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Oh, hold on. She's not done there. There we go.
Why is your hair messed up?
All right. Are you bringing something else, or is that it?
I think that's it.
Okay. This is riveting entertainment. You realize that, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay. All right. So, those are our shops. Where are we going to eat?
Universal has some delicious food.
They do.
I want my people to go to bed with a sugar crash because the Twosome Chocolate Emporium.
Wow.
This is where I'm eating for my birthday. They have food. You know, they have food. It's good food, right?
It is good food. It's actually very, very good food.
But that doesn't matter, Dad. It doesn't.
Think Cheesecake Factory on the food.
It doesn't matter how good their food is. No, it doesn't.
Because
they have ginormous milkshakes that have like 5 brownies in them and like a cupcake.
And then 5 brownies inside and then a cupcake on top. Yeah. And you get to carry away your souvenir mugs.
Yes,
that they come in.
And they have like these mugs that have the Twosome Chocolate Emporium logo. And they also have
they're plastic, of course, thankfully.
Yes. Yeah. But they also have, does this count?
I don't know. What are you going to say?
They also have this little off thing called the Candy Cauldron that's basically part of it, that has the Twosome merchandise, and it's also like a bakery case where you can get like fudge and like just pieces of chocolate bark or chocolate or basically cupcakes or whatever. But on their menu they have the deliciousness that is their milkshakes.
Absolutely.
But does that count? Can I have?
And they figure out ways to work chocolate into dishes that you wouldn't ordinarily think that would have chocolate in it either. I'm not a chocolate fan, so I kind of have to look for that because they will. They'll sprinkle chocolate into some interesting things.
But do I get Candy Cauldron with?
Candy Cauldron's actually at Disney Springs. I'm trying to think what the place is called.
No, it is.
Is it a Candy Cauldron also? I may be wrong about that. All right. Okay. So that's your restaurant?
Yes.
All right. I'm going back to Disneyland.
Oh my gosh.
People love the nostalgia, I guess, here, huh?
I know.
I'm going back to Disneyland, and it's hard. It's close, guys. It's so close. Because there's a great restaurant called Blue Bayou that's inside of the Disney Pirates or Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean ride that has some really, really great food. But I'm gonna have to pivot last minute on this. I am not gonna do that, even though I ate there with my wife on our honeymoon. Steakhouse 55.
Oh my god.
At the Disneyland Hotel, which almost made it as my hotel on this list. So close to making it as my hotel on this list. Why, Emma? because of nostalgia.
Yes.
Right?
I think we have the same hotel.
Steakhouse 55, kind of just a classic dark environment, laid back, very adulty, but not overly stuffy. Steakhouse with amazing food that has been there from, I believe, the beginning. I remember eating there for a birthday when I was, I believe, about 8 or 9 years old. And just thinking about how great it was. I remember the steak. I remember the rice. I remember the dessert. I remember my parents. They were there too. Hey, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Nana and Granddad.
There you go. But it's just a classic steakhouse. And I think that this park, being a little bit more on the nostalgic end, deserves higher end restaurant to go along with it. So we're going to bring Steakhouse 55 to Matt World.
Is it Matt World?
I don't know. Whatever my park is.
Cool.
All right. Go ahead. Show. There we go.
So, I'm a Potterhead. So, of course, I need a Harry Potter show. Because there isn't a show at Disney that's about the Haunted Mansion.
No.
Which is very sad. Disney, get on that. If you're watching this, I need a Haunted Mansion show.
Okay.
I also need a Haunted Mansion.
What's your show, Emma?
Okay. My show is from Universal's Diagon Alley, and it's the Tales of the Three Brothers show. If you know the Tales of Beetle the Bard, if you know Deathly Hallows, it's that with these amazing puppets and these amazing actors, and I love it.
Those are huge puppets too.
They are. They're ginormous.
Absolutely. No, it's different than anything you'll really see anywhere else in the parks. Definitely worth it. It's about what, about 10-minute show, 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And definitely worth your time. It's in the shade, which is great. The shade there at Diagon Alley.
Now, you do have to like sit on the floor or the minimal benches that they have because it's not like in an auditorium, because that doesn't fit the Diagon Alley vibe.
Nope.
But, you know, it's really, really good. They have these actors, and basically the story is that like this Hogwarts or wizard like community theater is putting on this like the story of the three brothers of the Deathly Hallows, and then they have this giant puppet of death, and it's amazing. Is
it a Death Eater?
No, it's death.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the difference between Dementors, Death Eaters. I don't.
And death.
And death.
So it's death, Dad. Okay. Like it's actually death.
It's actually death. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
See?
Or not cool.
Simple enough.
Okay. So I'm going to go show-wise with actually a show that I have never seen before.
Ooh.
Because I am super excited that it's coming back this month. And that's going to be Festival of the Lion King at Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's supposed to be one of the best musical theater shows in theme park history, essentially.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
I could have said that.
I'm super, super excited about seeing that show.
Me too.
Most people that have seen it just swear by it. You know, I think the big show that everybody kind of thinks of when they think of Disney, to think of Fantasia, right? Or Fantasmic. I'm sorry, Fantasmic.
Fantasia is the music with the animation.
Correct. They think of Fantasmic though, and I've never been a huge Fantasmic fan, though it's dark and twisted, so I'm pretty sure you'll like it.
Ooh.
But I think Festival of the Lion King is going to really be right up my alley. You've got some gymnasts in there as well. Got a little bit of that Cirque du Soleil flair and audience participation as well, which is great. So looking forward to seeing that.
On Dad's note about Dark and Twisted, yeah, on camera I might seem like really happy and bubbly and outgoing,
and she is.
I am, but Dark and Twisted is kind of my thing.
She's got these multiple personalities we don't know. All right. So last but not least, because we are almost at the 1 hour mark and I don't want to keep these poor people any longer. By the way, we appreciate you guys being here.
Subscribe because you deserve it.
Or not. But,
or not.
Yeah.
Subscribe because you survived.
Subscribe because you survived. I like that. All right, Emma, what is your hotel at your theme park? Okay, what is yours?
Let's say it at the same time.
1, 2, 3. Polynesian. All right.
I knew it because nostalgia.
No, actually, I didn't pick it because of nostalgia. I would have picked Disneyland Hotel.
Well, it's nostalgia for you.
Yeah, there's some nostalgia there, but I picked it actually for something else. Why did you pick it, Emma?
Because of Stitch. Because of
Stitch. Okay, who's being slowly phased out for Moana? Yes.
But Stitch.
Okay. Would you like to explain to the people that don't know how Stitch is involved with the Polynesian?
I like Stitch. Stitch is at Ohana.
They have a character breakfast with
Called
Lilo and Stitch.
and it's supposed to be really good, and it's at Ohana.
And Ohana is a restaurant that's very famous at Walt Disney World, which most people have heard of. So any other reason you picked that particular?
I just like the Polynesian vibe.
Okay, you like the South Seas feel that the Polynesian
I like
has?
the vibe.
Okay, awesome.
I like pineapples.
You like pineapples? Okay, and why would that be important here?
There's pineapples.
Because there's pineapples there. Okay. What about the close proximity to the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, that.
The
You
fact
can
that
watch
you
our
can-
video and how long it takes to walk to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes, you can. Anyway, you can. You're right by the Magic Kingdom. Right now, they're redoing the monorail platform, so the monorail is not stopping at the Polynesian, but it's stopping next door at the Grand Floridian, and then also the other direction next door at the Transportation and Ticketing Center. And so you can walk from there. You can also take a boat from the Polynesian over to the Magic Kingdom. And then, of course, it's within walking distance of the Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
And then also, if you want to go the long way around the walkway to the Contemporary Resort also. So you can enjoy all those great food options and enjoy those resorts as well.
Yeah.
Food options, though, are why I chose this hotel. Because
Ohana and Stitch.
you get the whole resort, right? So you get a great pool. You get activities out on the Seven Seas Lagoon. So you can go boating, you can go fishing. You used to be able to go water skiing, but I'm pretty sure they don't let you do that anymore because of the alligators.
Boating?
You can go boating out there. Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Is it boating?
Boating?
Sailing?
Boating. No, it's not just sailing. No, you take a pontoon boat. Boating.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
I'm going to look up if that's real.
And then just do Google Translate, and she'll tell you. But you get the restaurants, right? So you get Ohana, which Emma was mentioning, which is known as being one of the best table service restaurants at Walt Disney World. Just a lot of fun. It's family style. At breakfast, you get your standard breakfast offerings along with a few pineapple flavored treats.
Boating is a thing.
Boating is a thing. She learned something new today. And then you also at dinner time you get served family style as well. You get noodles that are Asian inspired, chicken wings, you get pork, you get all sorts of great things. And then they have one very, very, very special dessert that you can get, which is their Ohana is pineapple bread pudding, right? Banana bread pudding. And it's supposed to be unbelievable. Last time we were there, I did not have it because I was on a very rigid diet after cancer treatment. But it will be had sometime soon.
Yes, it will.
It will be.
And I will get my own because I do not share.
And you can actually have it right now at the Kona Cafe, which is right next door.
Yes, you can.
Which, by the way, is a restaurant that is unique in that it has a lot of Asian-inspired dishes.
Also has tonga
I have
nuts.
never loved Kona Cafe, I'll be honest with you. I've never thought that it was that great. But I do like Captain Cook's, which is downstairs.
Which we also have a review
on.
More reasons for you to subscribe to our channel.
Great.
We have fun content.
Great quick service food within walking distance of the Magic Kingdom. Definitely worth the stop for folks who are just looking for something a little bit different, a little bit more on the Asian or Polynesian inspired side. And then they also have Tonga toast in the morning on their quick service menu, which is basically a stuffed French toast with bananas on the inside of it.
Daddy, you're making me
powdered sugar with a little bit of well, actually they don't have the berry compote downstairs. They have that up at the Kona Grill version. But you can get some syrup to put on top of it down at Captain Cook's. And what is the other thing that they have food wise at the Polynesian that is of importance? They have pineapple lanai, which is basically a pool bar window
that has Dole Whip.
That has pineapple Dole Whip.
It has Dole Whip,
which is
at your
the
hotel.
Official food of Disney. It's like a pineapple sorbet.
It's Dole Whip at your hotel.
It is Dole Whip at your hotel, and they have it in various iterations, including an adult version of the Dole Whip as well that you can eat out of a pineapple that's been cut in half.
Yes.
So super cool.
Talk about that because.
So food wise, I think the Poly is probably a foodie's paradise if you like a little bit more Asian inspired food.
Yeah.
There's certainly plenty of hotels that have steakhouses and things like that, but this one's just a little bit different.
The Polynesian.
And it's got great views of the Magic Kingdom. Also, you can see the fireworks from the beachfront of the Polynesian. The pool is great. You got an awesome pool with water slides and things like that. So really just a great resort.
Yeah.
So what else, Ems? That's it. That we've made our parks.
That's our theme park.
That's our theme park. So we definitely do want to hear from you guys. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Be nice.
I got a lot of things wrong, so
be hard on her. Anyway, we love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you don't mind subscribing to our channel, we would really appreciate that, as it'll get us closer to that 100 subscribers so that we can get that vanity URL for you and you can find us a little bit easier.
And if you subscribe and then if you comment on this video, if you have any ideas for our 100 subscribers celebration, we would love to pick one that has been chosen by you guys, because you guys are subscribers who have made this happen. So
that's very true.
We would love to pick one of you guys' ideas because, why not? And
when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will do a carpool karaoke gone wrong of any song that you guys choose, so you can embarrass the heck out of us.
Like, we could sing like opera. They could make us do opera.
There you go. And those seem to be some pretty popular videos. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.